Yo, what up? Ultra here, the Ultra Poet, aka the boy with no boundaries, aka the guy who knows everything he can possibly know about rap and hip hop, but unfortunately can never rap. Welcome to the freshest podcast on the land. Yes, I said freshest podcast on the land. Unmastered, where I get to chat with some of your favorite rappers, producers, R&B artists, anyone who's doing something for the hip hop cultures. And for clarity, hip hop and rap are not the same thing. Rap is part of hip hop. Hip hop is a culture. So spoken word isn't it, rap isn't it, b-boy, everything that is part of hip hop is in there. It's not just rap. So on the inaugural episode, I am hosting the boy from Masvingo, the rapper, the former poet. He's no longer a poet. I declare it on this podcast. He's no longer a poet. We denounce him. Kriss Newtone, man, introduce yourself, bro.
All right. Thank you so much, Ultra. I'm actually honored to be here. It's your first guest on your first hip hop podcast. Hi, everybody. My name is Kriss Newtone. I'm a hip hop artist from Masvingo, and I'm also a poet. Whatever you say, bro, I'm still a poet. I mean, of course, I have been active in the scene for a while, probably because of COVID, performances and stuff. And I try to be like trying to focus on rap a bit more, but then I haven't lost touch in poetry, and also I haven't lost my passion for poetry. So please don't insult me by calling me a non-poet, bro. I'm actually a poet, and I actually challenge you to a poetry slam any day and any time you actually want. We can actually do that. But thanks a lot, fam. Everybody, my name is Kriss Newtone. Again, I'm a hip hop rap artist from Masvingo, and I'm so glad and honored to be part of this podcast. It's actually my first time hopping on a podcast as well, and I know that it's going to be an amazing experience because I've been following your previous podcast and they've all been fire. So I can say I'm pretty much honored to be here. Thank you so much, bro.
I am not a better poet. I don't do slams. I'm all about peace and spreading my message and love. No. But man, yeah, you are a poet. Nah, man, plus poetry and rap are branches of the same tree. A poet can be a rapper can be a poet anytime, any day. I understand and I respect that. Now let's talk about Kriss Newtone, the rap name. How did it come to be? Like, it's so wavy, it's so dope. But when I hear the story behind it, who is Kriss Newtone? How did you come up with the name Kriss Newtone?
Chris, thank you so much, bro, for actually noticing that my name is actually pretty cool, because some people just like Kriss Newtone, like it's a tender. No disrespect to your name, bro, but come on, Kriss Newtone. Anyways, Kriss Newtone is like Chris is like a diminutive from Christopher, because my birth name is Christopher Vembo. So then the Chris comes from Christopher, and the Newtone part now is when I was trying to, it's actually Newtone and not Newton, because most people say, like, is it Newton like Isaac? I'm like, nah, this ain't got nothing to do with gravity, even though I can hold you down, something like that. I don't even know if that's allowed on your show. But anyways, I was saying that the Newton part comes from new tone. So I wanted to bring in a different feel to the game, because I always felt like whenever I would write something, I would like to make sure that nothing like that has been produced before. So I don't want to reproduce music. So I always try to make sure that everything you hear for the first time, it's a signature sound. It's a Kriss Newtone sound. So the new tone part comes from like a new tone. It's actually new tone and like Isaac, like I mentioned before. So that's where Kriss Newtone comes from. And yeah, actually it's a bit of a journey, because I actually started off as Young Kriss. That was my rap name. That was like in Form 1, when I started rapping. And from Young Kriss, during the color blocking days, whatever, wear a bunch of chains and stuff. And then I went by the name King Bling, because I would always be rocking rings and stuff. I was just like in Form 3 back then. And then from King Bling, uh, that was like the name that just came right before Kriss Newtone. And then from King Bling, somehow I don't even know how it happened, I just became Kriss Newtone. It was like when I made my first studio recording when I was in Form 4. There's, when I reinvented myself as Kriss Newtone, it's been a journey, because Newton has been a very lyrical guy, and very diverse. Like Newton has been trying to bring like a new side of me every time I record, so then it's always a new experience, and it's not something that you haven't heard before, that you have heard before rather.
King Bling. Bro, I'm so gonna tease you about this forever. Bro, King Bling. Wow. Wow, that sounds so corny as fuck. Corny as hell, bro. Like, and by the way, you can say whatever you say, it's hip hop, bro. Like, if you don't catch, then it's not hip hop. You can say whatever you wanna say here, bro. Like, it ain't no chill, and I ain't tryna like censor anybody. You can say whatever you wanna say, bro. And this is for you to speak your truth, speak your mind, and we hear your story. So there's no censoring. Whatever language you want, it's allowed here. Whatever story, you're allowed to be wild here, bro, and raw and as open as you can be. Now let's talk about King Bling. That's still getting to me. But Young Kriss was dope though. Young Kriss is generic, but was dope. Kriss Newtone, fire. I love it. I like it. Now let's talk about Young Kriss starting to rap. When did you start to rap, and who or what inspired you to say, I want to rap? And were you good? Let's talk about you. Like, were you good? Were the raps good at the point? Were they good?
December 2010. I remember it was just towards Christmas. My parents had like gone for the Christmas holidays, in the rural areas, and then they left me and my brother, like just the two of us, at home. We were home alone. It must actually have been just 2 days before Christmas, and my brother, he came home with a little red flash drive, and it was always that he was that much into music. But then, when I was a kid, I would prefer, getting a Jackie Chan DVD to play it on the DVD player. But then he would prefer, bringing a CD just to, jam music. Because my brother's like my major inspiration when it comes to music, because he was always that person who loved music, like for real. Even before I did, he actually forced me to kind of like music like that, because he was always that kind of a person. So what happened, like when I was playing the flash drive and I was in the corner sulking because I was mad, because I wanted to watch a movie and I wanted to play music because they loaded some new music, and then it came, and then when he played Who Dat by J. Cole, and then he skipped it, I was like, oh no, can you come back to the previous song? He was actually shocked because he knew that I was actually mad, about wanting to watch a movie. So then he played Who Dat by J. Cole. I was like, can you rewind to the previous song? And then he played. I was like, damn. I want to believe that that's the moment when I discovered that I think it was subconscious, because I realized that the first flow I actually wrote, the beat that was playing in my head was Who Dat by J. Cole. So listening to that song for the first time, that was the moment where actually triggered a rapper in me, because I felt with that beat, and then I would mumble to myself in the corner, trying to, fit my own words, a little bit of poetry in there. So I'd say that the moment that Kriss Newtone, or the then young Kriss was born, was when I listened to Who Dat by J. Cole in December 2010.
December 2010. That's it's visually 2011, so that's been like 10 years of you rapping, sharpening your skills, and harnessing your raps and your rhyme schemes and your flow, and man, definitely listening to Overdose State EP, one can definitely feel the pressure that has been building for years, the the anger, the hunger that you can hear from the raps. But we are not going to talk about that yet. Now let's talk about your journey from 2010 to 2021. What are some of the things that you'd say these are notable things that have happened to you, maybe to push you further, maybe to draw you back, maybe to lift your spirit, maybe to like, I don't know, make your raps better, make your attitude towards hip hop better, make your love for music. Some things that are just like that stand out in your journey as an artist, as a hip hop artist, as a rapper, from the moment you wrote your first raps to the release of the Overdose State EP.
Call me young Kriss, some call me young Critter. The way you treat me, that's the way I'll treat you like damn. Some people now starting to call me Hitler, cause they know I'm the king. In the ghetto, I'm the leader, I'm an African, not an African. You know that I do what no other person can. I give glory to God, never ever to man. If you really wanna fight, just do it if you can. Alright, I finally remembered the whole flow. That's the literally the first flow that I wrote. I was trying to remember it, but then when I remembered that I wrote it over Who Dat beat, what I just did is I played the Who Dat beat, and then the flow just came to me, like all of it. That's actually the first rap I wrote to J. Cole's Who Dat. So anyways, to answer your question, bro, so actually I wrote this flow in 2012 and I heard the beat in 2010. So I actually literally started rapping and writing in 2012. So my journey has been a very long one, and I can say that there's been a lot of highlights in my career. I've been able to share stages with people that I've looked up to, and even for starters, I've been a person who always looked up to people like Tan Diamond. And when Tan Diamond actually reached out to me on Instagram when I dropped my first single, it actually reposted it and stuff. I was like, okay, so this is really happening, because it's that one person who I always looked up to. And another major highlight is when I actually got that feature with Soko Matemai, because it's actually one person. I remember there's a track that he was on that was on TV, and that was shocking. And it was like, I think by then he was my age or even younger, and I looked up to him and I was like, that guy is not even that old, but he's rapping on TV. I want to be like him. And then actually be like years later, maybe 7 or so years later, being on the same joint with him, that was just like, bliss. So what I can call one of my major highlights in my career was being able to bump into random people who actually like my music, and get messages from people that tell me that my music has helped them with so and so. And there's actually a time when because I understand that I'm not really like a mainstream rapper yet, like that, and my fan base is actually still pretty small because I'm an up and coming rapper. But then this one time I was in Mtari, and I was actually in Mtari. It was around 7 in the evening. I was just walking in town, and then I was passing by a place where there was a guy, like a security guard, and he was playing my song, and I was like, wow, this really happening, and just making something that lives, forever, and that drives other people's lives, even when you're not aware that this was happening. Some people jam into music while they're working out, or while they're working, or they're driving, and creating memories using my music. I believe that that's been the greatest thing. And if I ever ask for more, then I'm just being greedy, because already I have people who have gone through tough times using my music. I have people who have created memories with their loved ones using my music. And what more really can a person ask for? Because that's just one thing that's fulfilling, because there's always going to be money, and with money you're always going to be chasing more. But then I can say that the greatest highlight of my career and what keeps me going is that there are people out there who I don't even know who are waiting for me to release something, because my music is like a soundtrack to some of the things that they do during the day. So carries the memories across time, immortalizes those memories, that if you listen to my music, they remember something that happened when they listen to that song. I don't know if it's making sense, because I tend to explain things, but then what I can say is my biggest highlight in my career is to inspire other people, and to be an instrument that speaks in the lives of other people, and that they create memories using my music, and I'm forever grateful for that.
Wow. You know, as I've made so abundantly clear before, I've done a spoken word podcast, and what you just said here confirms that you're poet. This is something that I would have um, expected to hear from a poet. Something soulful, something so meaningful. But from rappers, I was expecting something flashy, like when I did this, got this award, or when I got on stage with this flashy moment, or when I got on TV. But then you actually talked about something really important, something we all should value as creatives, that is impacting certain people's lives and putting value in certain moments and in certain places and in people's hearts. That's the most beautiful thing any artist can do. And you shared a lot there about getting to meet some of your inspirations, like talk to them, like 10 Diamond, Soko Matemai, and the rest of them. Now let's talk about the Overdose State EP, the EP that got the buzz that everybody was talking about, and got you. I don't know, but I think it got you a certain level of recognition that you hadn't gotten since you had released Poor Dead, Rich Dead, Poor Dead, and Revolution. Is it Revolution? What's the name of that other single? It always confuses me. It's a tongue twister. But then with the release of the pre-single Sango, everyone was like, whoa, with Soko Matemai. That was a huge moment. Take us from the first moment that you thought of creating the Overdose State EP to the final release. How was that journey, and the changes and the inspiration that came behind that, and give us the final product.
All right, so the creation of the Overdose State EP, the whole idea behind that was that I'm a conscious rapper, bro. Because if you hear Rap Evolution and Rich Dad Poor Dad, yeah, it's actually a Rap Evolution. You actually pronounce it right. If you hear Rap Evolution and Rich Dad Poor Dad, those were conscious raps. I'm a conscious rapper. So the Overdose State was like a disclaimer. That's why you hear when on the lead single, I'm like, oh, so Kriss Newtone is not the avatar. There's like a disclaimer that all the damage that's going to be done that cannot be undone is going to be, the responsibility of the avatar, and it's not going to be me. I'm not going to be held accountable for that, because I can get to name drop, I can get to hop on trap beats, I can get to go real hard, so that people won't be like, so Kriss Newtone is not a conscious rapper anymore. He's hopping on trap drums because it's what's trending. Nah, bro, that ain't me. That's the avatar. So it's like me having to always wanted to go ape shit, but then because I introduced myself on my solo single as a conscious rapper, I can't really get to do that. So then the avatar is like a front. It's like an alter ego. It's like, damn, bro, look what you did, man. You murdered all those rappers. I'm like, no, bro, that ain't me. That's the avatar. Like, bro, you hopped on the track with someone, you killed him. No, bro, that ain't me. That's the avatar. That's the whole idea. So the avatar also is like, I was using different flows. I was switching through flows and everything. There's the element of water, earth, fire, and there's actually deeper meaning. When it comes to the texture of the verses, the tempo in relation to the elements. And there's also like a whole another subject, and the voices that I was using. The Overdose State is actually very deep, creative voice. I took a lot of time crafting that EP because I was particular. Every song had to have the 4 elements. So sometimes I use a deep voice, sometimes I use a whisper voice, sometimes I use a high pitch. So actually, for me to break down the whole Overdose State EP, the whole creative process, bro, that's just another syllabus for a whole high school or university course, whatever. Because I actually invested a lot of time in creativity into the choice of instrumentals. First of all, the sound design. There was a lot of work that was done, and I really can't take the credit for that alone, because that's just being dumb, stupid, and selfish, and just lying to people. I did not create the Overdose State EP alone, and yes, it actually did get a lot of recognition as my first bottle of work that actually went public and went out there, and people appreciated it, and I got positive feedback. But I did not take credit for that. I give credit to people like Sype, people you always like work with, on no money relations, just trying to make some good music, because we all coming from the same place, and we're also trying to get up there. So then, Sype is the person responsible for creating the Avatar, because he actually made the instrumental for the Avatar track that dropped in like 2019, that led to the creation of the Overdose State EP. I give shout out to people like Sype and people like John the producer, always like plug me with instrumentals. I'm talking about people like Pepsi, people like Ty Hill Beats, people like Rayo Beats, helped you even with the beats and the mixing and mastering, because for an EP to be solid, and for an EP to have all those elements combined and to sound so nice, there's a lot of work that's invested behind the scenes, and the people like Pepsi, because that's usually where I recorded all my songs. So actually, it was a great journey, and I got to host a listening party, and that's actually one of the most emotional moments of my career, because on the day of my listening party in December, it actually rained, like one of those heavy rains. You know how December was, December 2020, there were heavy rains, and I was shocked by the amount of people who turned up to my listening party. They made means, they found transport, and they sacrificed. I counted a few homies who actually walked in, dripping water, bro, I couldn't get a combi, so I had to run and come here all the way from Rodine to town. I'm like, that's really like one of the most emotional moments. So I'm really satisfied, even though I gave the EP out. I didn't really sell, any copies or whatever, and I didn't really get returns from it. But then I'm grateful for the feedback that I got, and I'm grateful for the amount of attention that I got, from that EP, and I'm grateful for the fans that I managed to get, and I'm grateful for, the airplay that I got. I'm grateful because everything, even though my streams are not up there, but then I'm grateful for where I'm at, because that's not where I was 10 years ago. So that's all credit goes on to the Overdose State EP for that.
Bro, that was really beautiful. Yeah. Wow, that could have easily been an award acceptance speech. Wow, and I love that you had to name drop. You had to give credit where it's due. There's some fire production on the Overdose State EP. I'm pretty sure there's much that went into it, and trust me, I understand what you're saying, where you're coming from, with the amount of time and energy that you're putting into your project. I have a similar project that I put out there, and it hasn't meant enough returns to say no, it's enough to satisfy maybe the financial part of things, but on an emotional level, I have been satisfied too. And I understand where you're coming from when you say people are coming to me, be like, we love this, we like this. It's a really satisfying moment. I think that's the whole point of being an artist, having people be moved by your work enough to do some things that you wouldn't even do for yourself. That's really kind of crazy, bro. I think we've talked about all of the things that I wanted to talk about. Now let's talk about something very controversial, or something that I would want to hear your comment on. What are some of the challenges that you have faced as a hip-hop artist in Zimbabwe, and being from Masvingo? How has been the certain criteria of because I am from Harare, and I know from Harare there is already division between the uptown and the downtown. The uptown kids are trying to be wavy and be on them, and very fancy beats, and the downtown kids are trying to be like T-gons, and how have you felt that, not only being from maybe the South Samora, but being from a totally different place that people might not think that hip hop even lives or is created from? How has that been experienced from you? Have you been neglected from places like Harare, Mtare, and Bulawayo, which seem to be the hotspots of Zimbabwean entertainment industry. And what's your standpoint? And actually acknowledging that people like Django Loco are actually coming from Masvingo and actually doing some big things. And I also hear that. This name is skipping me. This is so embarrassing. I'm not gonna mention him because after mentioning him after like 30 seconds is cause so gonna be embarrassing. But the whole point, all I'm trying to say is that people that are coming from Masvingo that are doing some um, pretty good things. And what's your standpoint? Has anything changed over the years from when you started out? And now the acceptance and the discrimination or the stigma of you not being from certain places. And the guy that I was trying to talk about is Nopo Styles. The name came to me, and people like Expose and all the other guys at Deep. Is he from Masvingo? I'm not pretty sure. But people that are from Masvingo that are doing some pretty good things. What are some of those challenges that you faced and the changes that you've seen that are coming out right now, considering that some of the rappers are now getting recognition, some of the artists from Masvingo are now getting the recognition that they absolutely deserve?
Well, I can say that I really don't feel the impact of not being in Harare, especially considering that I dropped my EP during COVID era. There hasn't been a lot of shows because of lockdown and stuff. Everything has been virtual, so everyone has had their fair chance to, no matter where you're from, if you're in Harare, if you're in the Philippines, if you're in Cape Town, there was no shows and you just had to, work online like everybody else. So I feel like that's been like a great, COVID-19 has been the great equalizer, and we've all been given our fair chances to utilize social media. And if I'm also given a fair chance like that and I fail to use it, that's just my problem. But then if it's normal days, days are definitely, when it comes to placements, opportunities are for those in the capital first. But then we can always try to make the most of what we have from here. It's all about, like, if we unite as, Masvingo, we'll definitely make an impact, because I want to believe that, like Django Loco, single-handedly managed to grow out of the cocoon, because you can't just be like, I'm from Masvingo, I have to go to Harare. No, you can also grow from here. You don't need to be from the capital so that you can have an impact, so that you can influence people. You can speak from wherever you are, and the internet will just carry the message across. So I just want to say that I really don't have much complaints when it comes to not being based in Harare, even though but I'm actually cool with a lot of Harare guys though. Rayo Beats is from Harare, but then Rayo Beats has been very cool. He did the production on my EP, mixing and mastering for Next to Nothing. It's been really cool. Even Hollyton is from Harare. It's been really cool. It's been give me cosigns, and then when he on his show, actually give me a platform to actually perform. So I really don't have any problems with rappers, or from Masvingo, or from Harare rather. And I feel like we can make it from here, and we're definitely making it work. I'm just gonna put in a lot of work and get sponsors so we can do our own shows here, so I don't have to depend on placements and shows from Harare. So then definitely after COVID is over and shows are back to normal, I'll definitely be doing more shows here, so we don't have to centralize hip-hop at the capital, because hip-hop is universal. Hip-hop is for us, just like hip-hop is for Harare in South Africa and Bulawayo and wherever. It's just hip-hop, and the culture is just the same.
Wow, man, that was so heartfelt. And I think what you're saying about the COVID-19 leveling things out, so true. Some of us even got time to create things. I would have never done a podcast if I was going about my day-to-day life, going to school, doing whatever, being busy with whatever. I wouldn't have had time to sit back and be like, I want to do a podcast. I want to do that. And the opportunities of getting to market when people are inside their homes, they have nowhere to go, they have to be on social media. that was so gold. And the funny thing is, I grew my social media following from around 600 followers to about 3,000 something followers from when COVID-19 started to that. And I've seen things in my own numbers, So as you're saying that not utilizing this time is not anybody's problem, and it doesn't really matter where you stay, where you are. It just matters what are you passionate about what you're doing, and are you able to utilize the resources that are put in front of you? Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, because TikTok has been really influential in terms of, if you see at least, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, 80% of artists that are blowing up in this COVID-19 era off of TikTok. So it's crazy if you don't utilize those opportunities and those platforms. It's your own funeral, bro. Let's talk about one thing. So we've talked about the serious stuff. Now let's talk about the more fun stuff. If you're to work with someone in Harare, in Zimbabwe, a rapper, a dancer, a cinematographer, someone who is into art, maybe a painter, maybe a graphic designer, who is the one person in Zimbabwe that you'd say, I want to work with this person, and who is the one person all around the world?
Yeah, well, to be really honest with you, bro, I don't really think there's one particular person that I say that I want to work with. Why? Because there's times when I thought that I was, there was a time when I was obsessed with the idea of working with one particular person, but then when I got to meet the person and I realized that they were a bit rude, and the energy just wasn't, and then I was really disappointed. So to be honest, bro, I really can't say there's one particular person who I'd really want to work with. But then, because there's a lot of people I look up to, there's a lot of people who appreciate the art, like who are not even like up there yet, that I want to work with, like even some up and coming artists who I want to work with, and even designers that I want to engage. I'm talking about people like Rick Chasers, obviously. It's like super dope, with the fashion and stuff. And also want to work with Sim Dark on the video because it's really amazing. So, bro, yeah, it's your question, bro. There's like a lot of people I want to work with at the same time, because like you say, hip hop is like a diverse culture, and you really can't work with one person. But yeah, definitely, bro. But if the energy matches, I really want to work with a person, because it's not really about how famous a person is, but it's like how you connect on the musical level, on the artistic level, on the creative level. Do you connect, and can you actually make something that you actually enjoy, or you're just doing it for the clout? So if it's something that I'm going to enjoy, then yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. I don't know, wherever it is.
I ain't gonna talk much, man. I'm always up for a conversation, but it feels like we've been talking forever, and I feel like I have a lot to ask, but for the sake of the podcast, being a podcast, not being an infinity loop of people talking, I would have to cut the whole series up. The compositions and the essays here, man. Let's talk about some short answers. I want you to tell me about, no explanations, just stating 5 albums that shape your taste, not artists, even if the 5 albums are from one artist. 5 albums that have shaped your music taste as Kriss Newtone.
Or those 5 albums were definitely, there's a lot of albums, but in the top 5, definitely J. Cole, For Your Eyes Only, Kendrick Lamar, To Be My Butterfly, Kanye West, 808s and Heartbreak, Jaden Smith, Sire, and Kendrick Lamar, Damn.
Wow, man, you definitely have taste. Kendrick Lamar, I would replace Dame with Good Kid, Mad City, but To Pimp a Butterfly is definitely the best Kendrick Lamar album. Now, I don't usually believe in there being the greatest rapper of all time, because rappers are diverse, rappers have different skills and strengths. But if I would choose the one rapper that I would say, this is the best rapper for me all time, dead or alive, I would say Kendrick Lamar, no cap. So who is that person for you? And please don't give us an essay. Just tell us. I think this dude would be like the best rapper dead or alive for me.
Hey, that was a tough one, bro. But for me, I'll definitely put Nas there. Nas is crazy. Nas, like I listen to a Nas album like I'm reading a book, and take time trying to decipher some of the things, and he's not. It doesn't. His music doesn't come easy to me. I have to actually work, to get the full meaning of whatever we're talking about, and then it's got these crazy patterns and rhyme schemes. I think I definitely put Nas there.
Well, I get you, man. Like 90s hip hop is it for me. It's it for me. But then sometimes for me it's hard to digest, as you've said, and sometimes it's really hard to relate to. But with Kendrick Lamar, although his music is also hard to digest for the most part, to think through and really get exactly what he's trying to put through, at least I can relate to most of the sounds and everything that he's trying to put through, and that's why I relate more to Kendrick Lamar. And before we go on and play this game with you, I call it random 10. I ask you 10 random things and you give me answers. And as mentioned before, we don't need your explanations, bro. We just want to know. So first of all, I want to know, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite TV show? Favorite artist? Maybe they're graphic designer, painter, whatever they do. Favorite color, meal, country, car brand, rapper, person, and poet. Let's go.
All right. My favorite movie is The Matrix. Probably me because I still don't understand it. Must I use my intellect? My favorite TV show is How I Met Your Mother. My favorite artist is Basquiat, The Late. My favorite color is blue. My favorite meal is probably pizza and Coke any day. My favorite country is Maui. My favorite car brand, I'll say Mustang. My favorite rapper is J. Cole. My favorite person is my little sister named Margaret. She's my favorite little person. And my favorite poet is Rudy Francisco. You thought I was gonna say you, nah, I ain't gonna say you.
Bro, nobody's gonna say me. It ain't even about that. Like, anyways, thank you so much, bro. Like, and you got good taste, bro. The Matrix, up there, up there in my top 10 favorite movies. TV shows, How I Met Your Mother, up there in my top 3, bro. Top 3. Wow. And everything else, I agree with you here and there, bro. And blue for real, bro. That's like my favorite color. And bro, thank you so much. I'm really happy that you agreed to be with me on this experimental shit. What I know best is talking to poets, and talking to rappers is something new to me. And thank you so much for agreeing to be on this podcast. And we're gonna see where it goes. So it would be really unfair and insensitive for me to be asking you a question like, what's next for you? What are you giving us next? When you just gave us a whole EP, we're still digesting it, bro. And I'm not gonna torture you with that question. What I'm gonna torture you with is the question that, as you go, as you leave, what would you like to say to the person that's listening, that wants to walk the path that you have walked and do the things that you have done, and also to the fans, to the family, to the friends that have listened to the podcast from start to this point? What would you want to say to them as your final words on the podcast?
Damn, yeah, bro. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I'm really grateful. Like I said, this was my first, time I've been on a podcast, but you make me feel so comfortable and at home. So thank you for that, bro. And I just want to say that first of all, to maybe a young kid aspiring to be an artist, aspiring to be a rapper, I just want to say that go for it. The world is big enough for all of us. We need more creatives. More people are being born every day. They need more music. They need more art. So Kendrick Lamar say that the world is just a rock without the voices of art. So go for it. There's no limits. And to my family, I appreciate you, your love and support. You brought me here. To my fans, my friends, y'all do the most. I thank you for all the support you give me, and I'll keep on, living to please you and please your ears and to spread the message and create memories for you. And to all those who might not know me, who knew me through this podcast, My name is Kriss Newtone. My username at KRISSNEWTONE at Kriss Newtone across all platforms. Hit me up. Let's talk. Let's connect. Peace out. Thanks a lot.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Kriss Newtone, Chikomana Kiri from Vegas, from Masvingo, the rapper, the poet. I didn't like saying that. And thank you so much for joining this podcast hosted by me, the UltraPoet, Attendance and Bandu, aka Ultra, aka the boy with no boundaries, aka the boy who asks whatever. I think it's the same thing with no boundaries, but hey, who cares? And this podcast hosted by The Heat Trader. So go follow us on social media at The Heat Trader on Facebook and Instagram, and go subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us everywhere else. Thank you so much for listening to this. Until next time.